claim to be.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Aliens are extra-dimensional beings.
It is an atomic bomb. It is a harnessing of the basic power of the universe.
Welcome to Dark Discoveries.
Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be, whenever you find this episode, wherever you are. My name is Jacob Kimbrough, and you are listening to Dark Discoveries. Happy Easter to all listening on this fine Easter Sunday, and to those who aren't, don't worry, you needn't be celebrating Easter to consume this episode. I'm sure some of you are wondering why a show called Dark Discoveries is choosing to deep dive on a day such as Easter. Well, as many other words in the English language tend to do, the word dark is polysemous, a single word with multiple meanings. For our uses, we play with the word dark and use it to mean something hidden from knowledge or mysterious, while also meaning something arising from evil characteristics or forces, or sinister. These aren't the only ways to use the word dark, but for the most part, our episodes will follow this dichotomy. For example, occasionally things you didn't previously know, and other times things you wish weren't true. Sometimes it'll be both. Now today my goal is not to topple thousands of years of established church doctrine or make people question what they believe. I want to offend no one, and I'm only presenting the facts as they are without any of my own personal beliefs added in. I am not an automaton. I do have beliefs, but I don't believe this platform should be used to proselytize them like so many do. My goal today is to talk about Easter and a few of its many origins and traditions. Easter is an international event. All around the world, no matter where you go, you'll run into the celebration of Easter. In Belgium, people will be busily hiding their loved ones' shoes and then demanding witty forfeits for their return. The Bavarians will be chasing each other around a pole. In Poland and Hungary and Czechoslovakia, young people will slosh water on village girls. In Austria, people will cut brushwood and encourage the revelers to whack each other on the shoulders to wish them good luck. In Ireland, it'll be the day of the biggest horse race of the year, with the most money bet, the greatest winning purse. Outside the cathedral in Florence, Italy, the people will set ablaze an ox cart full of fireworks. Scandinavians will bring out their special seasonal Easter beer. In Rio, the hangovers from Carnival are beginning at last to clear the heads. And in America, people will eat chocolate rabbits, candy, and eggs, and wear their spring clothes and play with their kids. That's the way it is during Easter around the world. Bewildering mixtures of ancient faith and folklore, of Christianity and paganism, of holiness and horseplay, because Easter is an amalgamation of the Jewish Passover, the Christian celebration of the resurrection of Christ, and pagan rites of fertility and spring. In fact, the term Easter is not a Christian term at all. It is the name of the ancient Saxon goddess of light, Yostra, and you might be interested to know that Easter celebrations predate Christianity, so that the resurrection of Christ has come lately to be one of the themes of Easter. And by the way, there are many other ancient Easter rites predating Christianity that were attached to the worship of the sun and the worship of certain gods of fertility. And that's where the Easter egg comes from. The egg is both in ancient times a symbol of fertility and a symbol of the sun, because of course of the color of the yolk. And so, eggs were used in ancient fertility rites as symbols offered to the gods and goddesses. And they were used in worship of the sun as sort of a small emblem of the sun. Even the hot cross buns, which we saw quite frequently in Scotland, are not really Christian. That's only a late jump from paganism to Christianity for hot cross buns. Originally, they were used in the celebrations of Astarte, the Phoenician goddess of fertility. I wondered this week how the rabbits got into the scene, since rabbits really have nothing to do with eggs. And so I checked some things out. I found that in ancient Egypt, the rabbit is the symbol of birth, for obvious reasons if you've ever heard of rabbits. The Egyptians used the rabbit as a symbol of birth, and also other ancient people considered rabbits the symbol of the moon. And since rabbits in Egyptian society were symbols of fertility and birth, they were connected with the spring, when things came alive. Since rabbits were the symbol of the moon, and the date of Easter is annually determined upon the course of the moon, the connection is quite obvious there too. So by virtue of the symbol of fertility and the symbol of the moon, rabbits found their way into the celebration of Easter. And then there's a more modern story in Germany about a poor woman living in a time of famine who had managed to get some eggs for her hungry children. And in order to make it special, she hid them on Easter, and as the children discovered them in a bush, at the same moment a rabbit jumped out of the bush. And the legend began that the rabbit had brought the eggs to feed the hungry children in the famine, and so the Easter Bunny was born. And also so goes the mishmash of Easter. Rabbits, eggs, chocolates, hats, dresses, new suits, fertility rites, spring celebrations, pagan festivals, special beer, new clothes, horse races, throwing water on each other, whacking people with shrubs, and on and on. Easter is associated with the Jewish festival of Passover through its symbolism and meaning, as well as its position in the calendar. Early Christians chose to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus on the same date as Passover, which reflects Easter having entered Christianity during its earliest Jewish period. Evidence of a more developed Christian festival of Easter emerged around the mid-2nd century, and in 325 AD, Emperor Constantine convened a meeting of Christian leaders to resolve important disputes at the Council of Nicaea. Since the church believed that the resurrection took place on a Sunday, the council determined that Easter should always fall on the first Sunday after the first full moon, following the spring equinox. This is why Easter's dates vary between March 22nd and April 25th. Easter has since remained without a fixed date, but proximate to the full moon, which coincided with the start of Passover. Now, while there are distinct differences between the celebrations of Passover and Easter, both festivals celebrate rebirth. In Christianity through the resurrection of Jesus, and in Jewish traditions through the liberation of the Israelites from slavery. Then to focus on the Christian belief of Easter, which centers around the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Usually believed to be the most important of Christian holidays, Easter signifies to the Christian the most important form of rebirth, through the sacrificial death of the Son of God, which is recognized on Good Friday, the ability of the sinful man to seek rebirth by accepting this gift of salvation. Transformation then takes place, and the sinner is a new being. Easter is a special holiday for all. No matter your beliefs, the Easter holiday signifies spring. Life abounds all around, and hope springs to no end. Beauty is all around, and things aren't so dark. This is the first bonus episode, and frankly was short and sweet because everything has happened within a 9-hour period. We hit 100 unique average listeners, which thank you for that, by the way. I realize everyone who has come along this journey deserves a special discovery that is pertinent to today. I also researched, wrote, recorded, and edited this in just a couple of hours, so if you have enjoyed our discoveries, please subscribe, follow, and review wherever you are listening. If you have any questions or would like me to go into greater detail about this or any of our other episodes, go to our Patreon. There you will find the right option for you. Thank you for your support and have a great day.